Hello, in this video I'm going to be teaching you some of Celeste's advanced movement mechanics. The mechanics I will be explaining will be some of the most used and popular techniques in the game. Something to note before starting the video is that all of these mechanics will be able to be performed by almost everyone as long as they know all of the basics of the game. Without wasting any more time, let's start the video. The first step of a wall bounce is to make sure that you are aligned with a wall so that if you dash upwards you'll land perfectly on it. Next you're going to want to dash upwards and make sure that you jump off of the wall. After this you will have done a wall bounce and got a large amount of height. When doing this you have to make sure that you don't grab, otherwise it will cancel out the wall bounce. When doing a wall bounce, if you delay your jump so that you jump further up on the block, it will make it so you gain more height. This would be called a delayed wall bounce. To perform a wave dash, you'll need to be looking down and either left or right at the same time. The next step is to do a dash whilst holding these keys. After dashing, you will need to jump, but you have to make sure that the jump is delayed by at least 2 frames to make sure you get your dash back. After this, you'll get a large amount of speed and should be able to dash again. When doing a wave dash, you need to make sure that you wait before jumping, otherwise you won't get the dash back. Wave dashes can be chained together to do multiple in a row. To do this, you will need to repeat the action of wave dashing normally multiple times. A hyper dash is very similar to a wave dash, however, instead of waiting so that you get another dash, you'll jump instantly. Hyper dashes can be chained together, but it is much less efficient than a wave dash. Hyper dashes are more effective than wave dashes when there is a shorter platform, as you don't need to delay the jump. A neutral jump is the only mechanic which isn't needed to beat the base version of the game, however it can be useful when performing skips. The first step of a neutral jump is to be touching a wall. After this you will want to jump away from the wall without holding any movement keys. After jumping you will instantly want to hold either left or right to move back toward the wall that you jumped from. This can be done multiple times in a row to be able to climb big walls without losing any stamina. Show how these mechanics are actually used in game, I've got a clip of me playing the first level and I'm going to kind of freestyle over it and say where these mechanics would be used and how they would be used. So here it just starts with normal, doing it fast, and the first bit is right here where we'll be doing a wall bounce, which is used to skip pretty much climbing this entire wall. So you just use it here, go up against the wall, dash upwards, and there that would skip a large bit of here with just jumping and normal dashing, and I'll give you more speed into the next part, which would let you just immediately move right here and just dash up onto this block instead of having to wait to fall down onto the platform. And one can also be done up here at the end of the level. Here it can be done as well, which is going to skip jumping on these breakable blocks over here, and it also lets you get this berry. Even though you're not supposed to be able to dash to get it, you can still kind of skip it and dash off of this little block here, which would look like this. And that skips quite a bit, since you can't dash it up here if you want to get the berry. And the first use of a wave dash or hyper, either one, because it doesn't really matter because there's a block that you'd land on, is right here, which you'd use off this jump pad here, go up here, dash down, land on this jump pad or grab on this block, which is just going to skip a lot of time having to land on here normally and just jump across. Which saves a little bit of time. And same thing there, just going up into that next room, you just dash up. Same with here, just any long wall like this where you're going to be landing somewhere or going into a next room, you can just use a wall bounce and just skip some time. Now here, what I just did there that's a pretty difficult thing to do, is where you're gonna either want to wave dash or hyper here into the next room, which is quite dangerous. And to do it, you're gonna have to 100% know what you're going to be seeing on the next side, which, since I've played this level a lot, I know that there's just going to be a wall here which you can grab on, or just a normal platform, and that just gives you speed into the next room. And when you go in between rooms, you always get your dash back, as you can see by this red hair color, which this just saves time. But if you're going to do that across rooms, you must know what's on the other side, which will also happen at the end of this room. And this next one is more dangerous. There's also just another wall bounce here which lets you get this and just jump over quicker. And here, use a wave dash through here, which takes you to this next room where you have to be quite careful. You have to make sure that you don't do a high jump and you just do a low one by just tapping jump really quickly, which will land you onto this platform down here, and it's going to give you enough speed to jump immediately onto this moving block, and then you'll just be able to continue the level. But that's why it's really important to know what's on the other side. Otherwise, if you just did it normally, you might just end up in this pit and just end up dying. And the same thing there where I skipped it. I did kind of mess up on this block a little bit, but yeah, you can just wave dash through there, grab this, or land on this jump pad and then just continue the level. Same with there. I just jumped through here, did a little wall bounce, which was just going to save some time climbing up. Here, another place where you can do a wave dash, but in this situation you must do a wave dash. You can't do a hyper, because if you do it and you have no jump, chances are you're going to just end up in this big pit at the bottom. And if you wave dash, you're going to be able to have a dash and go up here and go carry on with a normal level. If you don't, you're just going to end up dead in the void. That wall bounce there, it's just a little time save. Don't have to do it, you're supposed to just jump up there normally, but it's kind of just easier to do it that way as well. So here, there's a little skip up here. Instead of having to jump over to the platform over here, you're going to continue to climb up this wall and jump up and dash onto this breakable block, which is going to show kind of you running out of stamina from this jump here where the character flashes red, and that's going to mean that you can't jump anymore, but you get kind of just a little bit enough speed or enough like stamina to be able to jump up here and then land on this block, and then you can do a hyper or wave dash over to here, which there character flashing red got no stamina, but it's fine. You still get enough to make it over here. And then you just do a hyper or a wave dash over to the next platform. Now here, I'm actually going to slow it down for this whole room because this room has a pretty big skip in it. So I'm just going to walk you through how to do this skip. So you're going to want to land on this jump pad and up here, and normally this movable block would put you to the other side of the map where you go on this one and go up. But in this, instead, what you're going to want to do is you want to do a neutral jump up here, which will put you at the top of this movable block, and because you're not grabbing it, because you can do it as a neutral jump, it's not going to start moving the platform, and instead you're just going to jump up it higher, which you land back on it, and then you want to grab it and do a normal jump up to this wall here. And then you're going to want to keep doing neutral jumps in a row until you get to this kind of top bit area here or over here, and then you just jump out and you're going to dash upwards, and this is going to put you up here, which skips the entire room, and then you're just at the end of the level. This skip is pretty difficult. Doing these chained neutrals, because you can't really grab, otherwise you're going to run out of stamina. You're going to have to just keep doing neutral jumps, and it's quite hard timing, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to do this quite easily. And it's just a big skip, skips the entire room. And that would be the end of the level. So hopefully that explains how to do some of these mechanics well, and kind of what ways you can use them. Just as an outro for the video, I'd like to say thank you for watching this. It's my first video I've ever put actual effort into, and it was made as a college project. The project was kind of a gateway into getting into video creation and editing, so hopefully it's good and I can continue making more videos in the future. If this video somehow gains any traction, I'm always open to feedback, and I'll take any video ideas anyone watching has for me. To anyone still watching, thank you and goodbye. Here, and then you're going to start ticking red, which is going to show that out. Wow.